Hi, my name is Barbara Gray from Claritystamp here in the UK, and welcome to YouTube Tuesday. Today I'm going to use my favourite three-way overlay stamps, the Townhouses. I love this design by our friend Mel Turner. And if you're not familiar with the way these stamps work, I think you'll enjoy this. It's just a little refresher really. You see, we've got this stamp here, which is stamp number 1, which gives you the outline. But then you'll notice that we've got stamp number 2, which will fill this stamp. And then we've got stamp number 3, which gives us the background. So they all work beautifully on their own. In fact, I did do something recently with stamp number 3 and Distress Oxides, which looked really, really cool. But today I'm going to use all 3 of them in this particular piece of artwork, and I'll show you how you get that lovely grungy background. And then this background here is created using one of Mel's smashing stencils, and this is one of the set of stencils. I don't know if you've seen the Hovis ad. Really nice piece of artwork that I did with Rye. It's in that set, so this is really cool for backgrounds too. Right, so without further ado, where do we begin? We start with a piece of stencil card cut into quarters. So you've got 7 by 7, cut it into quarters, 3.5 by 3.5. That sits perfectly, that's the perfect size. Then we need a black archival ink pad, or I'm going to use a black Radiance, the same thing, permanent ink pads. This the black Radiance is just wetter, and my archival's a little bit dried out, so I'm going to use my Radiance. I like this one. Right, so we just add some black to that. That'll do, and then we will just pop that into the centre. So this is stamp number 1, and this will give us the outline. So we just press nicely, get a really nice image, boom. Oh, I've got my glasses. I sometimes, I don't know about you, my eyes are getting worse and worse. That's a really nice stamped image. Okay, now we want to fill this image. So to do that, I'm going to use stamp number 2. See, stamp number 2, when you put it over the top of stamp number 1, it fills it completely. Excuse my head for a minute, yeah. And you'll see, if I show you, I don't know if you can see this, see the pink bit? Let me see if I can, yeah, it sticks. See the pink? That's what we're going to do now. Not pink, but that's the part, that's the stamp. So let's take this, and it just went pink because I stained it with another ink pad. So what we'll do now is I'm going to control how much ink I add to this. So let's use Cranberry Crush. These are nice, these artistry inks. We'll use Cranberry Crush and Blushing Rose and Dark Garnet. And then we'll use yellow in the background. So what I'll do is I'll play it safe, and I'll use Blushing Rose for the top bit. Enter the blending tools. These are cool. See, because you can go in several times. So now I'm going to just add Blushing Rose to the top. Let's see. Can't see it really. But I reckon this will be nice. So we'll add a little bit of that colour to that end. Let's have a look, see what happens. Well, see, so then we'll go in, excuse my head for a minute. I'm just going to go in and sort the top part out first and see if you can actually see it. Because it's a very light colour. Start with a light colour, always best really. Oh yeah, look, isn't that pretty? See how, can you see that? So that's nice. So we've done a light colour on it. And if I wanted to make it a bit darker, actually I'm going to make it a bit darker. Let's go in with a bit of, what's this one? Cranberry Crush, right? So we're going with a bit of Cranberry Crush along the bottom, right? See, if I go straight in with the ink pad, it's going to be really dark. Look, I can tell you. But just to make a point, right, so that we can actually see what I'm doing here. Now I'm going to come up a little bit through this. Let's have a look. And then I'll come back in again like so, and I'm just going to line up stamp number 2. It's really easy to do, right? Even with my dodgy eyes. Okay, so we press down there, and you'll see now I'm changing the colour. So you see how now I've got that colour going on. So this is coming together really nicely. So maybe now I'm going to go to dark garnet, and I'm really going to go for it. Let's add another generation of colour. So this house in this corner and then this corner are going to be I'll do a bit of depth around the side. Right, dark garnet. That's got to be darker, isn't it? So you're building up your colour. Oh, this is going to be very dark. Okay, just to make a point. So you're building up your colour with the ink pads. That'll do. And you'll see how yeah. So now you've got some real Tudor kind of houses with that light at the top and that dark at the bottom. But again, going in, building it up, building it up. Nice. So that's number 2. These are all dye-based inks. These are water-based, so they're not going to stain. You don't have to worry about cleaning them until later. Now let's have a look at yellow. So this time I'm going to use haystack, and this time I'm going to use stamp number 3. Now stamp number 3 is going to do the whole lot, isn't it? So this is going to be quite bright. From the way I've just loaded up the yellow on that, I reckon it would probably be a little bit too bright. So you can always just blot it, can't you? Let's have a look. And then we'll just pop the yellow in. Let's see where we are with the yellow, just to see what happens. Right, so we've got our yellow. There we are. So straight away you've got the background, which is really cool, isn't it? So I've done the background, and now let's see if I can get a bit more depth in. If I take the cranberry crush, and let's just use on this particular stamp now, let's just sweep a little bit of, that's it, just a bit of depth around on the yellow layer on the background. And what you'll see is now that you're painting with your stamp. Watch. Isn't that cool? Look at that depth. See, so that's how you build up your depth. And when you look at this, there's no difference there at all. Maybe a bit lighter in the sky there. But you see how you can use all 3 stamps to get the depth on the houses, the depth in the background. It's up to you which ones you use. Right, so that's that. We've done that. And now we want to add this to a piece of craft card. And then we're going to add that to one of our white. So that's basically, that's what we're headed for. And let's check the difference out. See, just a bit more depth in that one, isn't it? Dead easy. So what we'll do first, we'll just take this little piece and we'll take our Sharpie pen or our alcohol marker and we'll just run around the edge. This is a bit dried out. Let's try that one. And we'll just, oh, that's better. So we'll just run around the edge of the little card, the 3.5 by 3.5. I'll go that one again because that was a little bit dry. Okay, so now we've got that piece. Now we're going to add that to this. So this is going to be good. Enter the stencil. So we've got our stencil. You see with the houses and the windows, it's real cool. And we're going to literally go straight across with this. Right, and I'm going to use a brush, a stencil brush. I'll use that brush. Now you don't want to overcook it and you have to decide what colour you want to use. So I'm going to go, I think I'll use, see, if I wanted to do a blend, hold on a minute, I've got one here. If I wanted to do a blend, then what I would use is a blending mat. So this way, let me show you a trick. Oh, here she goes, off she goes again. See, if I use cranberry crush, it's a little bit too red for me. If I use dark garnet, it's a little bit too dark for me. Do you see? And if I use that one, it's a little bit too light for me. But what I can do is use all 3 of them together and get a whole other colour. So now I know that it won't be bright red, it won't be too dark. There we go. And I've mixed up 3 colours and got a whole other colour. So let's have a look. Yeah, I like it. So it's not red, it's a mix. It's a blend is what it's called. All right, and what we're going to do now, we don't want it to be too dark though, because we can always add it, but we can't take it away. So make sure you get rid of loads before you start, and monitor what you're doing. See, sometimes you don't need a lot. Look, make sure it stays in the right place though, otherwise it will be a bit dodgy. Right, nice. Okay, that'll do. And then at this end, I think, I just fancy using that brick actually. So let's just use the brick there too. Here we go. See? Then we got a bit more I'm going to use the brick down here as well. Just move it along a little bit. So it's just that brick I'm after, isn't it? And I haven't re-inked the ink pad. Down the bottom, I think we might do a bit darker. There you go, see? And in the middle, if you want a few bricks so that it's seamless, just move it up. There you go, bingo. So there's your background. That's easy. We'll take our black Sharpie pen again and we'll just frame it. It just changes a piece of boring craft card into a neat, subtle background. And all we're using is a brush and a couple of ink pads. Right, so then that becomes the background for that. That's better. And then that becomes the background for there. And there is your finished card, like so. In fact, why don't we finish it? Because it's easy. We've got these glue runners, which work really well. Just a glue runner will do the job. We'll just pop that into the centre of that. You want that down the bottom, I think? Yes, we do. Right, so that will go on there like so. That looks good. Then we'll do this one on this one. There we are. And then that one sits on that one. I like bottom openers personally, but it's all a question of taste, really. Right, there we are. And that's that one. And there's that one. So now we've got a pair. You could sell these, couldn't you? You can make little notelets. Nice, new home, new home. So there we are, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that little demo. Nice stencils. Check out the stamps, they're my faves. www.claritystamp.com. I blog every day, barbaragrayblog.com. We've got some banging communities on Facebook. Clarity Worldwide, Groovy Worldwide, that's the parchment room. And I've got a Facebook page myself called Barbara Gray Artist. So do like and follow. And if you like what I do, then like and subscribe here. And thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.